This mob of over 100 people marched on an African American's house in October of 1909 to try to stop this family from moving in. The leading men of Minneapolis, as the newspaper called them, these are not the kind of people who want to be involved in mob violence. And they don't have to, because they have other tools that they can use. And there's this tool that they become aware of. It's called a racial covenant. And so just a few months after this confrontation, you see the first racial covenant appear in a Minneapolis property.
And this is where you first see this racial language.
Caucasians only, Aryans only, no Negroes or no members of African blood or descent.
100% of them were aimed at Black people.
In many ways, racial covenants, this is kind of ground zero of residential segregation. In the United States, and racism have a very, very long history, but this particular deployment of racism is fairly new, and this idea was really made material through instruments like racial covenants.
The law of the streets, the law of the courts working in consort to discourage Blacks from moving into white neighborhoods.
It starts out as private property developers, but eventually you have the federal government encouraging these racial covenants, demanding actually that any investment they make is protected with this kind of racial exclusivity.
When you can covenant entire areas of the city, it makes it off limits. That's pretty powerful. This is Jim Crow of the North.
Now, they say that this is no longer happening. Mashpaka and Shalom to all of the Mashkan that came inside of the chat. Ak Troy, Sister Malaka Adayah to the remnant. Shalom, sister. Sister for your consciousness. Shalom, sister. But they say it's over with. It is no longer happening. And they say that we living in the past when we bring up the present, because they say what you think is going on in the present is not really going on. You're just living in the past. So you have to let go of whatever argument or whatever thing that's hurting you. You got to let it go and just move on with your life, because what you think you're going through with, you're not really going through. And this, I believe, is a big problem. And I'm going to show you some scriptures in the Bible that many people have used to justify their views on what's going on. And when I show you this, I want you to ask yourself, is this really what the apostle meant? Because if Paul was teaching this, when you understand why a lot of people was not believing in anything that the apostle was saying. Now, I'm going to tell you what I believe, and what I believe, I'm going to try to believe what the Bible say. All right. So in 1 Corinthians, pull up the screen here. 1 Corinthians, resurrection of the body. But some men will say, this is 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 35. But some men will say, how are the dead raised up? And what body do they come? You Thou fool, that which thou sowest is quickened, except it die. Now listen, Messiah say that unless you die, unless a seed die, it cannot inherit the kingdom. So right here, it's telling you the same seed that died was the one that is to be quickened. He say, that which thou sowest, which means plant, is not quickened, except it die. And what which thou sowest not that body that shall be. So when they seen this, a lot of people, I presume, believe that, okay, the Apostle Paul is saying, okay, so since they got to die to receive the kingdom of heaven, then that means that whatever lands and stuff they got is off what they say, you got to get off of the property, because you can only receive your inheritance in heaven. So while you on earth, you got to do what we say, because we are Christians. And that which thou sowest, that which thou plant, thou sowest not that body that it shall be, but bear grain. It may chance of wheat or some of grain. But Elohim giveth it body as it hath pleased him. So now, let me ask you a question. Where do seeds come from? They come from another plant. And who created the seeds? Elohim created the seeds. And that's in the book of Genesis. But he's talking about the seed of Adam. So when he say the seed of Adam, and in this case, he's talking about the seed of a promise, is he saying that the seed that's of a promise should not have any place to lay his head on earth? Else that person would have to be a spirit, that they should not have any place to lay their head, because the scriptures say in Barashayah that Elohim giveth Adam dominion over the earth, over the plants and of the beasts of the field. Now, what Adam did Yahweh choose to rule over another Adam like he is his Elohim? Because Elohim gave a commandment, and he gave us lots of land of inheritance. But they give another commandment, which they call an amendment, without calling it one, because they don't even acknowledge the seed of promise. And I'm going to prove it to you. But it say right here, grain, but Elohim giveth their body as it hath pleased him. So Elohim gave the seed a body as it has pleased him. And to every seed his own body. So to every seed his own body. All flesh, see what he's talking about, seed, all flesh, awar, is not the same awar. It's not the same flesh. But there is one kind of flesh of Adam. Another flesh of beast, Bahama. Another of fishes, Dap. Another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one. Now, right now, we living in a body that can fade away. It can get sick. It can age. It can die. So right now, we're in a realm of life where we have to move and act in a certain kind of way. But if they say that the children of Yasharal should have received a promise before the consummation of the promise, then it would be expedient that they push them out of their own inheritance so that they would receive a promise that has already been given and already fermented. If they say that the kingdom is now here, and that Yahweh has already created all things new, and that there is no need for anything else, and we and Christians move inside of the Holy Land, and they push out that other seed out. That's what they did. Christians moved inside of the place that they called the Holy Land, and they pushed the seed to the four winds. So there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. So they misquote and mistranslate and misunderstand the scripture. And if they do understand it, they doing this out of bewitchery and wickedness to push somebody out of their inheritance because of a promise for a later time. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. So since we don't have eternal bodies like Malachayim, like angels, like messengers of the burning fire, since we don't have bodies like them right now, which is eternal, that can't get sick and all that, then why do they think it Yahweh will for them also who have bodies that will also go to the dust to push somebody else out of their inheritance for a promise for a later time? And if they believe that Yahweh will do away with his seed at any time, then why would they even read inside of the book and think that that promise return goes to them if they have in themselves already made up in their mind that Elohim is a liar when he promised it to a specific particular seed, and he also gave them promise of land inheritance, but yet they move inside of somebody else's land of inheritance, and by doing that curse themselves, because the scriptures say in the book of Jubilee that when they moved inside of a land of inheritance, they cursed themselves. And it would make me wonder, why would they move these certain books out of the Bible? And if they translated them in a particular way to make people feel like these books are not worthy to be read. Now, I don't know what these people done did or what they think they finna do, but Elohim say he have not forgotten. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. There is one glory of the sun. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. When the seed is in the place where it grew up, where it's rooted and grounded, if an orange tree is growing up in Florida somewhere, and it grow up and it has abundance of fruit, and inside of that fruit that it bore, which is good fruit, it bore fruit, and there's seed inside of those oranges, let's say tangerine, and after the tangerine is either eaten or fall to the ground, it's still where it's supposed to be. And another seed grows up in the same like manner. This is how it has been ever since Adam. Seed was supposed to be inside of their own places where they tree supposed to grow, and then they're supposed to bear fruit where those trees are. And then Elohim gave Yasharal a commandment to be a light to the nations. So while these trees was where they was, it was our responsibility to bring light to the nations, that they may understand the will of Elohim. We were supposed to be the priest of Elohim to the nations, and Lawai was supposed to be a priest to Yahweh, but unto us. And so what they have done is that they have infiltrated inside of the Quadash Bayathwa houses, and they have implanted themselves inside of another Adam's garden and made themselves the Adam of another pastor. And also they have used the pastor that they took over as the breadwinner, so that they could take either all or the full balance, or the not almost complete balance, but to give the children crumbs so that they can eat their abundance. And I'm telling you that this is a wicked that has happened in these latter day. And it say right here, so also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, it is raised in incorruption. So if we ain't died yet, if we haven't died, if the Messiah ain't cracked the sky yet, then we're supposed to be doing what he told us to do until he cracked the sky. Now, what did he say inside of the scripture? Keep the commandments. Now, what is the first commandments that he gave unto Adam? He said, be ye fruitful and multiply. He gave the Ayash, he gave the Asha to the Ayash, the woman to the male. And the same word for male, Ayash, means husband, and the same word for Asha means wife, and it also means female. And Yahweh imprinted that inside of the language. When he say Ayash, he's talking to a male husband. You could be a Ayash that is not married, but that's still a male. When you get married, you are Ayash that is married, but that name suits the person. It is a compound word. So also is a resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in corruption. So the seed of the tangerine is sown, is dead, is planted, and is dead. And then when it raises up, it has life. Just like with a caterpillar, Allahayim give us creatures to understand his creation. Just like the caterpillar, you put it, and when the caterpillar die, it go inside a cocoon, and then they say it has metamorphosis, and when it comes out as what it's supposed to be, as a butterfly. But many days and a lot of hours and days it live as a caterpillar, and then it goes inside of a cocoon, inside of its casket, inside of its sarcophagus. And when it raises up out of the sarcophagus, it is a butterfly. Now, that right there is evidence of resurrection. There's another animal on this earth. And if Yahweh willing, one day I will show you the video of it. As National Geographic, they'll allow me to play it. But if there's a brother or sister that work with National Geographic and these different companies, y'all should really be starting to reach out to some of y'all brothers and sisters that's speaking about y'all things that y'all working in, so that y'all could we should be working together. We could be able to be an asset to National Geographic and all these different places if they would come together and say, okay, we see the people that's talking about this stuff. Let us work with them so that we won't have to keep worrying about all these copyright strikes and whatnot. So you can either put it in a liver box, or you can work with the people that's actually speaking. Now, back to what I'm saying. It's sown in weakness. There's a frog in Africa that dies and is in the earth in Africa. He's buried in the ground. And after, at a certain time, his heart begins to beat. He's resurrected from the dead. His body was dead. His heart and everything was dead. His heart stopped pumping and everything. Brain no longer. And then when heart started pumping, his brain waves and everything started functioning again. This is resurrection. And he was there for a long time. When the bear go into hibernation, he's supposed to sleep for a long period of time and then wake up when it's time that hibernation is over. But the hibernation, the many Yeshaya and Yezakiel and all of these prophets, Shawal the apostle, he's still in his in the holding place. He's still in the dust. So has Yahweh forfeited the promises that this brother who was a strong missionary and apostle for Yahweh, that wrote down many great words to teach the body of Hamashiach of what was to come and how we are to live our life right now, just like the prophet Masha? Have they superseded Masha? Have they stolen Masha's inheritance? So when we see this right here today, is overstepping their boundary. At the first Adam was made a living soul. Have they superseded Adam? The last Adam was made a quickening spirit, a life-giving spirit. Howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, Rawak, but that which is natural. So the first was natural. So we got to live a natural life. Now, if you don't eat, if you don't drink, the rich and the poor will both die the same way. If you don't wear clothes, you all gonna be naked. If you don't rest, you're not gonna feel good. You have to live a natural life, and you also have to live a spiritual life. But they trying to say that we can't live a natural, fruitful life And it's hard for us to live a spiritual life because they teaching hypocrisy and lies. And afterwards, that which is spiritual, the set apart spirituality, not the wicked. The first man is of the earth, Adawam. The first man is Man Adawam, from earth. Adawam, earthly. The second Adam is Yahweh. Bawa Shamayam, I believe, from heaven. As is the earthly, as is the Arats, as the Adawam, such are they also that are Adawam. As is the Shamayam, heavenly, such are they also that are Shamayam, heavenly, as we have borne the image of the earthly. So Yasharal bear the image of the earthly, the people that they say can't have no inheritance. Yasharal bear the image of the earthly. We shall also bear the image of the Shamayam, the heavenly. So the very ones that bear the image of the earthly, Adam, which also the image that Yahweh bore, also we will bear the image of the heavenly when in the resurrected state. So how come they say that we need to just receive Christianity and be all spiritual without no physical inheritance or anything? It is something wrong with the mindset of this Christianity doctrine. I'm going to read some of y'all comments and then I'm going to go to the next Bible verse, Mashpaka. Bukatov, Brother Troy, good morning, bruh. Barakwa Tawab. Shalom, Sister Niggas, Malaka Adiyah to the remnant. And for your consciousness, Shalom, sister. I say again, Shalom. That's right, sister. They are very wrong. And like I told y'all before, I'm trying to figure out a way. And it's some brothers and sisters. Can y'all please put if y'all got a computer, I want to see what them 100 things do, or the heart thing. I'm pressing it. I'm trying to see what it do. Will it draw more people in? I don't know. Whatever they call that. It'll show that the channel have action. But for your consciousness, a yea awake. True. Amen. Let me see if I can write y'all a questionnaire here. I think we supposed to be trying to engage in the chat. All right. So let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Should Israel say it's all right? All right. So let's see here. Whatever. Okay, let's see. I think I should spell it the correct way. Hold on. I'm just spell it the right way. Let's see. To steal. There we go. We're going to just put that right there. There we go. So y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm finna go ahead and keep on reading. Mashpaka. I'm finna go ahead and keep on reading. So let's go to the next one. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see where we at. It's so far away, it's hard for me to see. Let me see. Okay, it's on resurrection of the body. All right. Let's see where we are. There we go. Okay. So now, resurrection of the body. Are we on the rules for the Levites, right? Can somebody tell me what you see? Because this is very small for me. Let me see. Yep, we on the rules for the Levites. Okay, there we go. I ain't got good eyesight like Brother Troy. All right. Let's see. It say, I can't see real good. Mashpaka not far distance. I don't know if I got 20/20 vision no more. Brother Troy. But let's see. There's Achiel, rules for the Levites. Now watch this now, what they say for the women. Because some kind of way they've been trying to rob the sisters also of inheritance. It say, but the priests and the Levites, this is Ezekiel 44, verse 15. But the priests, the Levites, that means the Kohan, Halawai, the sons of Zadok, that kept the charge of my sanctuary, the instructions of my sanctuary. Why is we going inside a place we call it the sanctuary? Think about that now. That kept the charge of my sanctuary when the children of Yasharal went astray from me. They shall come near to me to minister unto me, and they shall stand before me to offer unto me the fat and the blood, saith Yahweh Elohim. They shall enter into my sanctuary, they shall come near to my table to minister unto me, and they shall keep my charge. Now Hamashiach died for the transgression of Yasharal. All right. So he fulfills that part right there. And the priests need to be forgiven. The priests now today need to all be forgiven by Hamashiach, by his blood. They need to receive the blood atonement for their transgression before they can even say that they are priests. But many of people, they say they got all type of churches now. They got devil church, I don't know what's going on with a lot of these people. That's fruitless, dumb stuff. But anyway, and it shall come to pass that when they enter in at the gates of the inner court was not allotted for everybody to go in. They shall be clothed with their linen garments, and no wool shall come upon them. And Brother K. Judah did a video about that, about the garments, the linen garments and the wool garments, how one will cancel out the other one if you have both on. But let us keep going. And no wool shall come upon them, whilst they minister in the gates of the inner court. And within they shall have linen bonnets. Y'all know what a bonnet is, right? Upon their heads, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat, and they shall go forth into the outer court, even in the outer court to the people. And they shall put off their garments wherein they ministered, and lay them in the holy chambers, and they shall put on other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments. Neither shall they shave their heads, nor suffer their locks to grow long. Okay, so they couldn't grow their what they call it now today, dreadlocks long. They couldn't grow their dreadlocks long. I just say it right there so we can understand exactly what he talking about. The Rastafari, they can't grow them long. They shall only poll their heads. Neither shall any Kohan drink wine when they enter into the inner court. Neither shall they take for their wives their Asha, a widow. Now, inside of their churches, they say it's against their law for their priests to get married. But Yahweh say for the Kohan of the tribe of Lawai, he wanted them to get married because they priesthood, they had to continue to bear seed for the priesthood, the natural seed, which is the one that the book of Abar, the book of Hebrews, was speaking of when he said this was a temporary office for the Lawai of the natural seed, you know, the one that had to be changed, the priesthood that had to be changed, not the people be changed. Neither shall they take for their wives their Asha, a widow, nor her that is put away, but they shall take maidens of the seed of the house of Yasharal, Bayath of Yasharal, or a widow that had a Kohan before, a widow that had a priest before, and they shall teach my people the difference between the Quadash and the profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. Now, if we under this dispensation, should we all be dirty like Europe was? But he said, no, they shall teach them to discern between the unclean and the clean, between the hog and the sheep, between the goat and the snake, clean and unclean. And in controversy, they shall stand in judgment. So if something come up, then they had to judge it themselves. Now, what did the apostle Shawal say? Can you not judge these small matters among yourself? He wasn't teaching against the Torah. He was teaching the Torah. And he say, in contrary, they shall stand in judgment, and they shall judge it according to my judgment, not according to whatever they feel, or to some lying doctrine, a doctrine of devil saying that you done away. If you done away, what's the point? To my judgments, and they shall keep my law and my statutes, my instructions in all my assemblies. In all my assemblies. So if you was in the Gentile court where they was at, they got to keep it. In our courts, in Judah, in Reuben, all of us had to keep it. According to my judgments, they shall keep my law, my statutes, my instructions, and all my assemblies. They said sanctuary. Remember how they say, let's go inside of the sanctuary when you was younger and they go inside the church? He said, you got to keep his statutes and his judgments, his laws and his instructions. And they shall hallow my Shabbat. They shall hallow my Shabbat. They shall still keep the Shabbat. So you can't change it from Shabbat to Nisan, to the first day of the week. So if you don't keep this, you can't even rest. So they say that's done away with. So resting from all your works is done away with. Then what you working for? Why you getting up and going working on the plantation if resting from all of Yahweh's work is done away with? Then why you got to obey man? Has man become your Alahayim? And it shall come at no dead, and they shall come at no dead person to defile themselves, but for father or for mother. So if you have a funeral, how you gonna touch them? See what I'm saying? On the Shabbat. And they shall come at no dead person to defile themselves, but for father or for mother, or for son or daughter, for brother or sister that have had no husband, they may defile themselves, as after he is cleansed, they shall reckon unto him 7 days. All right. And in the day that he goeth into the sanctuary, the place that Christians say they go into, unto the inner court to minister. And why is they going inside of the inner court? And where is the inner court? May I ask where the Christians go? Is that a pulpit up there? Should that be representing the inner court? Then why they ain't teaching the law over that thing that they call the pulpit? They pulling people inside of the pit. And why is it not a Kohan of the seed of Yasharal teaching up there? Why is everybody and their mama up there behind them teaching? And why is the slaves being told that they done away with, without saying they done away with, but in so many words saying they done away with? And every Sunday get them to give money inside of them offering plate while they ain't even got no country. And the sick and the shut in is paying tithes and offering, and these big bold faced evil preachers is up there asking them to give them all their money. And what do they give back to the people? If the poor are giving to them and they riding in the brand new car that just not come out, they got to have the best suit. They got to have alligator shoes. They drawers got to match their suit. Some of them got canes on, and some of them got hats that they put at the front. Unto the inner court to minister in the sanctuary. He shall offer his sin offering, said Yahweh Elohim. Now, if they say that there's no more law, then how you offering this offering right here? How you repenting of sins? So they say they shall offer their sin offering. Shouldn't we be telling people like the Apostle Paul them said, repent? Paul, the Apostle Shawal was teaching repent. That's the message of the kingdom. What did Messiah go and preach? He began going preaching the message of the kingdom. Repent, for the kingdom is at hand. Say ye not to yourself, who shall ascend up unto Shemayim, that is to bring Hamashiach down from Shemayim, or who shall descend into the abyss, that is to bring him up again from the grave. But the word is now you already in your mouth, which is the word of repentance that I preach unto you. And it shall be unto them for an inheritance. Look at here, this is Lawai, a tribe that was called out, set apart unto Elohim for himself, and Elohim still gave them a physical inheritance on the earth. So if people that say I'm a Christian from another nation, so if you're a Christian and you are born a Greek, you are a Greek by birth, you are a Gawayan by birth, because the Greeks is the seed of Yawan. So if you say you're a Greek by birth, you're a Roman, you're a Chittim, you as the sons of Yapath that make up that Grecian nation, and you say, okay, I receive JESUS inside of my heart, and I'm a believer now. So that means that you ain't supposed to be living on nothing on this earth. You supposed to be the vagabond. You supposed to be the slave of all the people on earth, because you received salvation. So you received salvation, it became a curse to you. So you should never have nothing. Law should be written against you if you is up there from them nation. But if we gonna go by what the scriptures say, then even Lawai, who was called out from all of the 12 and given a inheritance that should never be moved. When it was given the suburb, it was never supposed to be stolen from them. The places of Lawai, he could always redeem it at any time. But if these laws is done away with, then what is the purpose? What is the purpose? You still got to eat and drink, and it shall come and it shall be unto them for an inheritance. I am their inheritance. So Allah say, I am their inheritance. So if Yahweh is the people inheritance that say they're Christian, if JESUS is their inheritance, and that's a false image of Cedric, the Borgia, and all that, and President P already done put it out to let y'all know who the people is and who they look like. All right, the Portuguese in Spain sold those same people into the slave trade. Those same people, Yahudim, who was not supposed to have nothing according to a religion of devils, doctrines of devils, not supposed to have nothing. So what is the point? See, if the scriptures say if a man don't work, he don't eat. Why did Shawwal say you still got to work? If you ain't got no worry about no more working for anything. And why do you work perpetually? Can we not realize that our nation is under a punishment? If we realize this and we realize the way to get out of it, why is the preachers not teaching this? Why is they not telling the people that, look, we see, because I see the prophet Daniel said that the preacher will have a veil over his eyes and the people will have a veil over their eyes. They'll ask the preacher, tell us what these things mean. And he'll say, I can't tell you. It's concealed unto me. I can't tell you. And then you'll ask them what they say. It's some things that God do we just don't understand. But we'll understand it better by and by. What they telling you, they got a veil over their eye. The person asking you because they don't know. The person telling you they don't understand it. And then they'll make up something. Some of them will lie and tell you, oh, it mean this. Oh, it mean that. It mean this. Or they'll go inside the old slave master memory slot inside their head that they do subconsciously and tell people that keep on praying. Everything gonna be all right. What is you praying for? What are you praying for? Aren't you supposed to be praying that Yahweh will forgive you for the sins of your ancestors and your sin? Well, it don't matter. It don't matter. Well, then how can you ever pray the prayer if you and who you is as a person don't matter? He say, I am their inheritance, and ye shall give them no possession in Yasharal. I am their possession. Now, wait a minute here. Now, wait a minute here. Did they stop right here? Did they just stop right here? They don't even read this. But wait a minute. So let's look at this right here. I am their inheritance. So wait a minute. Lawai had an inheritance, but Yahweh say, I am their inheritance. They shall possess in Yasharal. I am their possession. So wait a minute. So if Yahweh, if they say Yahweh, or they say many don't even want to say Yahweh. But okay, so if you say God is your inheritance, that JESUS is your inheritance and your possession. So how come you are spread to the four corners of the earth and you ain't got your own country no more? Well, I'm American. I am this. I am that. I am Negro. You not listen. Let me tell you something. Every seed of Adam have their own lot of inheritance. Why are you still in the place where your ancestors was in slavery? Whether if you is in Portugal still, whether if some of y'all is still in Spain still, if some of y'all is still on the island of Sao Tome, whether some of y'all is still in Puerto Rico or wherever you at. Whether if y'all in all these places where y'all at, because y'all scattered to the four corners of the earth, and they say don't wear that, they scream, put their finger far in their ear so they can't hear nothing you saying, like the prophet said that they would do. You tell them to go and look inside the prophets, but it's their pride is so strong and make them not want to go and look in the prophets to understand what is being brought out today. I am reading out of the Bible, but many will get mad. And they say in slang, many will get pissed off and not want to hear nothing you are reading out of the Bible, the very Bible that many say they believe. I am their inheritance, and ye shall give them no possession by Yasharal. I am their possession. So wait a minute. So if Lawai was given no possession, then why was he given possession? Think about it. They shall eat the meat offering and the sin offering and the trespass offering, and every dedicated thing in Yasharal shall be theirs. And the first of all the first fruits of all things, and every oblation of all. So how you treat your priests and how you treat the poor, and I'm talking about the righteous priests, how you treating the priests and how you treating the poor is how you treating Yahweh Shai. He said, whatsoever you do to the least of these, my brethren, you do it unto me. So you see here, they shall eat the meat offering and the sin offering. If you say the person can't have no inheritance, why should they go and work? Why should they go and work if they can't never own nothing? They can never have nothing. Why should they go and work? It is a waste of time. And the sin offering and the trespass offering and every dedicated thing by Yasharal shall be theirs. And the first of all first fruits of all things, and every oblation of all of every sort of your oblation shall be the priest. Ye shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough. Well, ain't nobody giving to nobody, and yet and still they tell you that it don't matter. Do they feed you like they supposed to? Now I know that the Catholic Church do more out of benevolence than people that stand up every single Sunday riding in Cadillacs, Beamers, and Bentleys. So let me ask you something. If they say that the Catholic Church is the devil, but they is the righteous people, how come the Catholic Church is doing more giving charity work than they giving? That he may cause the blessing to rest in thine house. The priest shall not eat of anything that is dead of itself, or torn, whether it be fowl or beast. They let our people sleep all out there in the street. Joe Biden is going on by his way. Do he really care what's going on with the priests? Do Joe Biden really care, or is that just something to say to just get people off of their back? Mashpaka. Because I've been wondering if they really care what happened to the sheep. And I'm back in the comments again. Shalom Private C and Shalom Shay Love. Barakathon on you, sister. That is, ain't it, sis? That's a doggone shame how they treat our people. And then throw the Bible up in your face, and they don't even keep the Bible themselves, but got so much Bible verses to slap in your face every time you say something. Ain't that something? Got a Bible verse to slap in your face when you say something. I tell you, man. People. All right, Ma'aka, I want you to turn it to Nehemiah. All right? Another Bible verse that is not done away with. Nehemiah. All right? Go ahead, turn it to Nehemiah. All right. Now when they say marriage, so if you ain't got no inheritance, so everything taken from you, your wife, your kids, everything. Now look, I seen that DCF had took this sister kid, and it's on Africa Diaspora News Channel. I want y'all to go and look at that video when I get off of here. Brother Phil did a good video. He was showing how CBS had, and I'm gonna share it on my community tab. Y'all were willing, so y'all can go to the right one. But CBS took this woman child because she didn't want that child to take some kind of stuff. All right. So they took the place of the parent. They it's almost like they saying, I'm the real parent. I'm gonna override you because y'all ain't never supposed to have nothing anyway. So whatever y'all, it's a light thing to us to just run all over y'all. We shouldn't believe in nothing. But then they throw the Bible in your face. Let's go here. Y'all got to understand we are prisoners of war. Y'all understood this, that we are prisoners of war. Listen, just like in Afghanistan over there, Y'all see this? They call them terrorists, right? And they put the soldiers over them and all that, whatnot. Look, we are prisoners of war. Look at the things that they're doing. Intermarriage. Now, right here, we call it swirling today. Intermarriage. Forbidden. Why? In those days also saw I Yahweh that had, and now they put Jews, they replace you. You on the four corners on the earth as colors, as Crayola. And they say they Jews because they believe they Jews without no DNA backing to say that they Yahudim. Now let's go here. He say, in those days also Yahweh. Now in those days I saw a Yahweh Judean that had married wives of Ashdod and Ammon and Moab, and their children spake half. See, the people of the promise is not said to be counted as the people of the promise, because they say that's called complaining, and that's called falling away from grace, and that's called wickedness for a Negro to ever want something of his own self or her own self. But let us read this right here. You can't even have ownership of your own children, Mashpakah. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod. You can't even speak your language now. You come to America, when they brought us over here, our language was taken away from us, and it was labeled as a dead language, which is, they called it a dead Canaanite language, and don't even track you with your language, because they say that you not Yasharal, they Israel, because they was established in 1940, I think 6 or 7, of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Yahweh tongue language. So they could not speak their native tongue language, Lashon, but according to the language of each people. So now our people speak English, Espanol, Puerto Rican, Creole, whatever African tribe we had, we speak different tongues. And I contend with them and curse them. This is the prophet Nehemiah. Cursed them and smote certain of them. It must have been important for him, and plucked off their hair. He pulled their hair out their head and made them swear by Elohim, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons. So this really teed off Nehemiah. Nor take their daughters unto your sons. So he's saying, listen, don't give yours and don't give theirs. Don't take now. Or for yourselves did not Shalaman, Malak, Yasharal, king of Yasharal, sin, Ra, by these things? Yet among many nations, among many Arats, was there no king, was there no Malak, La Malak, Malak La, I think, or La Malak, La mean no, Malak mean king, like him, who was beloved of his Elohim. And if I speak it wrong or whatever, I'm making errors, because our people have been, our language have been washed clean up out our head. At a time we ain't know nothing about our native tongue or anything. So have mercy on me if I make an error. And Elohim made him king, Malak, over all Yasharal. Should I not try because I erred? Well, they say in Christianity, if you fall down, that don't mean that you lost your grace. But if you try to speak your native tongue, should we not try to speak it because we don't speak it perfectly? Should they go around mocking us, even though that was going to be done? Because the prophet said they will be mocking us and scorning us, and we'll be the scorn of the nation. And they will be saying like mama, like daughter, and like daughter, like, that's what they do. Even now today. And I read it out of that prophet yesterday or the day before that. Y'all remember on the last video that I did, creation of race 2 and creation of race 2. If you missed that, go back into that and look at that when I'm done with this one, and you will see what they'll be saying, like mother, like daughter. Look on the other side, you'll say it. It is said in the way that we speak now today. So you'll see it kind of glaring on the other side, on your right hand side of the screen. Nevertheless, even unto him did outlandish women cause to sin. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our Elohim and marrying strange wives, women of other nations and not our own sisters? And of one of the sons of Yehoiadai? That's how they say it now. I ain't look it up yet, but that's not what I'm focusing on today. I'm just talking. I want to get us to understand what is being said here. The son of Elisheba, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat, the Horonite. Therefore, I chase him from me. Now, was they being racist, or did they not want to be under no curse? Now, you got to think about this right here. They did not want to be under no curse, and Yahweh is not racist. He just want us not to marry these other people. Now, some people may say he racist because he want us not to marry these other people. He has a purpose for that. He divided everybody at the Tower of Babel. So is he racist then because everybody had to desegregate and go inside of their own lot of inheritance? Or was he a righteous Elohim that he told all of them, that he sent all of them where they were supposed to go? He sent the sons of Yawan to their land of inheritance. He sent Ham to their lands of inheritance. That all of them had to scatter. Remember them, Elohim, oh my Elohim, because they have defiled. Elijah, what we say, Elijah, my Elohim, Elijah, because they have defiled the priesthood. Because they have defiled the priesthood. They have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priest and the Lawai. Now I'm gonna ask you this question right here. So is bathing done away with? Because bathing was a part of the priesthood where you had to bathe. But I guarantee you, it's a lot of Negroes that gonna tell you straight, so-called Negroes will tell you straight to your face, nope, bathing ain't done away with. I don't want to smell somebody smelling musty. They'll tell you that quick. So we see this right here, that bathing is not done away with. Thus cleanses I them from all strangers. So he said, thus cleanses I them from all strangers. So he say he didn't want them to mingle. He didn't say he didn't want you to be ready to mingle. And appointed the wards of the Kohan, wa halawai, everyone in his business of the Lawai, everyone, they say in Africa, Lewi, of the Lawai, everyone in his business. And for the wood offering at times appointed, and for the first fruits, remember me, oh my Elohim, for good. Now, they say, okay, that done away with. You ain't got to sacrifice no first fruit and nothing like right there. So that means you should be ready to mingle and tingle. But let me show you something. What did the wood offering and what was those offerings made for? There was a symbolization of something. But that does not mean that Yahweh has done away with the foundation of the creation of order, of his creation. He told all of us to go to our own countries of land of inheritance. Not to steal, rob, rape, kill, and do all type of things to other folk inheritance and lot of inheritance. That's not Yahweh's will. Amen. And I see here we got 30. We got, should Yasharal say it's lawful to steal? 33% said yes. And 67% said no. So I don't know if y'all understood the question. Okay. I ain't trying to put nobody on the spot. But I want to know, out of those 33%, if you can tell me, why do you think that it's okay? If you understood the question, why do you think it's okay that Yasharal should say it's lawful to steal? That we should say it's lawful for us to steal or for somebody to steal from us? I want you to write down why you think that. Whoever you was now, you might have made a mistake. If you made a mistake, just write it down in the chat and let me know. Say, I just made a mistake. But for the most part, most people agree. So I'll be waiting on you, Mashpaka. And when I go live on the other one that I go live on, that's the one that I'm gonna pull y'all up in the box. Remember this question. Mashpaka, there's many people, that's 33% say it's lawful for Israel to say that we should steal. All right? That it's lawful for us to steal. All right, Yasharal should say it's lawful for us to steal. That's what they put in the chat now. All right, so now we're going to go back to that video that was being hosted, and we're going to end with that, Mashpaka. We're going to end with that video that was being hosted. And if Yahweh willing, I will put the video I'll put the video up for y'all so y'all can go and watch the full video. Y'all go and support the channel. The video is called Jim Crow. The video is called Jim Crow of Minnesota, because we still under Jim Crow. All right. So let me set this back up. I messed up. Hold on. Get this set back up. So there we go. There we go. Back on now. So I'm finna go ahead and press play on the video, pause my mic. And if any questions, I'll be reading inside of the comment section, and I'll go if I have to stop it, and then I'll answer your question if you're willing. If I got the answer to it, I'll answer it. All right.
Hello, I'm Toussaint Morrison, and this is Minnesota Experience. TPT is committed to telling the full range of our state's past, including the difficult history. The Mapping Prejudice Project at the University of Minnesota has documented the widespread use of race-based restrictions buried in the deeds of homes in Hennepin County. The research offers some answers as to why Minnesota has some of the worst racial disparities in the nation. Our new documentary explores this history, which amounts to what some researchers describe as a hidden system of Jim Crow of the North.
By the end of the century, it would seem that Minnesota was one of the most enlightened states with regard to race. You had a leadership of the state that seemed much more amenable to doing the right thing, or at least supporting in word policies that respected the dignity of the African American. Frank Wheaton came from Maryland. Wheaton came to Minnesota. He saw opportunity out here. He already had a law degree when he entered the law school at the university. And when he got out, he had aspirations for political advancement. He understood how to establish a rapport with the party apparatus. And as a result of their support, he was able to win an election in South Minneapolis with a constituency made up of white and immigrant voters. He authored 2 bits of legislation that dealt with civil rights, public accommodations. The Civil Rights Bill, the Accommodations Bill, only dealt with blacks not being discriminated against in terms of going to restaurants, hotels, riding in streetcars, the railroads, places like that. It didn't really deal with other issues like schools and housing and things of that nature. But for all intents and purposes, it was a major step forward with regard to civil rights.
In 1910, Minneapolis isn't particularly segregated. There's emerging African American neighborhoods around Lake Harriet. around West River Road, certainly on the east side of Minneapolis.
Prospect Park is this beautiful neighborhood, very close to downtown, very close to the University of Minnesota, right on the banks of the Mississippi River. It was a very desirable neighborhood, and I think neighbors weren't surprised when they saw a house that fit into this neighborhood on what is now East Franklin Avenue.
Mashpaka, I think that'll do it for today. And the links will be put under the video after it is uploaded to the channel. And I just want I want to say thank y'all again for coming out and for showing love and support to the ministry. If Yahweh willing, I'm gonna get me a camera and I'll be able to put my go up on their video camera live. I don't want to do it the old school, the new school way. I want to do it as old school as I can. I want a regular camera, like a video camera. And when I go live, I just set my camera and turn it on. And that's how I want to do it. I don't want to do it through no telephone. I want to do it through a camera, something that's specifically for that. And Mashpaka, I want to end the broadcast. That's the place where I want to leave it at right there. And I hope that y'all got something out of this right here. Don't let nobody be with you with lies and hypocrisy. And I'm going to say thank you for all of those who are here today. Brother Troy. Sister Malaka Adiyah, she's very faithful for your consciousness. Oh, I can add y'all as moderators here. Okay, I got it. Got it. All right. Can manage block words and change chat modes and live. Also has capabilities to stand. Okay, what's this? And hide or put users in time. Okay, that's all right. That's the one. There you go. There you go for your consciousness. I found. There you go, sister. Boy, I wish Moshe was here. All right, Troy. Did I get you yet, Brother Troy? I made Brother Troy one. There you go. And who? Okay. Shay Love is very faithful. Give you one too. And Privacy got to get one. Where's she at? Privacy, where you at? So, okay. There you go, Privacy. Now y'all in there, Mashpaka. Okay. But y'all, you cool, sis. But I'm finna go ahead and get off of here, but just keep the family in prayer. All right. Y'all got blue now. All right. I got to go, Mashpaka, but thank y'all for coming today. And shalom. And if Yahweh willing, until next time.